We've all felt stuck at some point in our lives. That feeling of being trapped in an endless cycle where our efforts don't seem to make the impact we expect. We wonder, what am I doing wrong? Or why does everyone else seem to have it all together while I feel lost, exhausted, and directionless? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. I've been there too. But what if I told you that there's a way to overcome all this without forcing yourself to follow a path that doesn't feel natural? A way to live with enthusiasm, energy, and most importantly, with purpose. And the best part, you don't need to change who you are. You simply need to adopt a different approach to life. Today, I want to share with you 12 Stoic lessons that helped me regain my enthusiasm for life when I felt everything was falling apart. But before we begin, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you're ready to become the best version of yourself. Today, I want to share with you the 12 lessons that completely changed me. They are simple but incredibly powerful strategies that you can start applying right now. If you've been searching for answers, feeling exhausted, drained, or unmotivated, stick with me. Together, we're going to explore these ancient teachings and how they can help you transform your life, just like they did for me. And the best part, you don't need to make radical changes or force yourself into a rigid process. These lessons are designed to be naturally incorporated into your daily life, so that without even realizing it, you begin to see positive results. Imagine waking up every day with renewed energy, knowing that you have the tools to face any challenge that comes your way. Imagine living a life with more clarity, more peace, and above all, more joy. So, if you're ready to learn how Stoicism can help you find that lost enthusiasm for life, join me on this journey. We're going to break down each of these lessons, and I promise that by the end of this video, you'll have a new perspective on how to face your challenges, and more importantly, how to enjoy life more. Key 1. Self-acceptance as strength. The first Stoic key that will help you surpass everyone else is self-acceptance. I know that in a world that constantly pushes us to be perfect, to meet impossible standards, and to compare ourselves to others, accepting who we are can seem like an enormous challenge. But self-acceptance isn't just important, it's absolutely necessary for our mental and emotional well-being. In fact, it's one of the greatest strengths we can develop. When we talk about self-acceptance from a Stoic perspective, we're not saying you should give up or stop growing as a person. Quite the opposite. Self-acceptance means honestly recognizing who you are at this moment, with your strengths and weaknesses, and embracing that. It's not about ignoring your areas for improvement, but about stopping the punishment for them. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius said that it makes no sense to fight against one's own nature. True growth begins when we stop resisting our reality and fully accept it. Accepting yourself as you are right now is an act of courage. It's not easy to admit that we're not perfect, that we have flaws, or that we've made mistakes. But it's precisely in that acceptance where true power begins. Because when you accept yourself, you stop seeking external validation. You stop comparing yourself to others and instead start focusing on your own path. And this gives you an incredible advantage over those still trapped in the endless cycle of self-criticism and comparison. The Stoics firmly believed that tranquility and inner peace come from accepting what we cannot change. In this case, a large part of that acceptance is directed toward ourselves. We cannot change our past or the experiences that have shaped us up to now, but we can change how we perceive them and how we relate to ourselves. By practicing self-acceptance, you're cultivating a solid foundation upon which you can build anything. You're freeing up the energy once dedicated to self-criticism and self-sabotage, allowing you to channel it toward your personal growth and development. Moreover, self-acceptance has the power to disarm others' expectations. When you fully accept who you are, you stop worrying about what others think of you. As women, we often fall into the trap of trying to please everyone around us, whether at work, in our relationships, or even on social media. But Stoicism teaches us that other people's opinions are beyond our control and therefore shouldn't determine how we feel about ourselves. Accepting yourself doesn't mean you can't improve or grow. It means freeing yourself from the need for external validation and unrealistic expectations. The Stoics believed that the only validation that truly matters is the one that comes from within. Seneca said, "The most powerful person is the one who has control over themselves." And that control begins with acceptance. When you accept your nature and current circumstances, you become unstoppable because you're no longer constantly trying to be someone you're not. Instead, you're working from a place of inner strength. Key 2. Focus only on what you can control. The second Stoic key that will allow you to surpass everyone else is learning to focus only on what you can control. It may seem simple, but in practice, this idea can completely transform how you face each day and, most importantly, how you feel about yourself. We live in a world where many things seem to be beyond our control, from others' opinions, the actions of other people, to external situations that impact our lives without us being able to do much about it. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or anxious when you are constantly trying to control the uncontrollable. But this is where the Stoics offer us a liberating perspective. Focus only on what is under your control, and learn to let go of the rest. According to Stoicism, there are two categories in life: what is under our control and what is not. What is under your control includes your thoughts, your actions, your decisions, and how you react to circumstances. On the other hand, what you cannot control includes others' opinions, others' behavior, the weather, politics, and basically anything external to you. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: some things are under our control and others are not." This principle is so liberating because, when you truly internalize it, you realize that you do not need to waste energy worrying about what you cannot change. Imagine how powerful it is to focus only on what is under your control. This gives you a sense of power and mastery over your life that does not depend on external factors. When you stop fighting against the inevitable or the uncontrollable, you have more energy and focus to put into what can truly make a difference: your actions, your decisions, and how you choose to see the world. This means that when you face a difficult situation, you do not exhaust yourself trying to change others or force an outcome that is not in your hands. Instead, you ask yourself, what is under my control here? How can I handle this situation in a way that aligns with my values and principles? And that is the true strength that Stoics teach us: to focus on your own power, on your ability to choose your response to any circumstance. For example, you cannot control how another person treats you, but you can control how you choose to react to that situation. You can decide not to let that person's words or actions affect your inner peace. Seneca expressed it clearly: we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Most suffering comes from wanting things to be different than they are, and this only brings us frustration. Women, in particular, tend to be very critical of ourselves when things do not go as planned. We want to have control over everything: our careers, our relationships, the image we project to the world, and sometimes this consumes us. But Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control everything. And that is okay. In fact, learning to let go of control over things that do not depend on us is one of the greatest acts of self-compassion we can practice. Another advantage of applying this key in your daily life is that it makes you less reactive and more proactive. Instead of wasting time and emotional energy worrying about things you cannot change, you learn to focus on what truly matters and what is within your power. This not only improves your emotional well-being but also makes you much more effective in any situation. It is also important to understand that by focusing only on what you can control, you are not being indifferent or insensitive to what is happening around you. It does not mean you ignore what is going on in the world or in your life, but you simply choose not to let the external define your happiness or your mood. The key is to choose how you respond rather than reacting automatically. This approach is incredibly liberating because it takes you out of the victim mentality and places you in a position of power. You no longer depend on external things being perfect to feel good. You no longer need everything to go according to plan to maintain your inner peace. Because, at the end of the day, the only thing you can truly control is yourself. And when you master that, nothing and no one can destabilize you. Key 3: the value of silence. The third Stoic key that will allow you to surpass others is understanding and valuing silence. In a world that never stops, filled with noise, opinions, and distractions, silence has become a rare and, at the same time, extremely valuable resource. But I am not just referring to external silence, but also to that internal silence, that mental space where you can find clarity, peace, and focus. For the Stoics, silence is not simply the absence of noise, but a moment of deep reflection and self-control. Silence is where the most important decisions are forged, and true wisdom is developed. Seneca, one of the great masters of Stoicism, said, "The greatest part of progress is the desire to progress." This progress, this reflection, arises from silence. Because it is in those moments when you are not distracted by external clamor that you can truly connect with yourself and evaluate your actions, emotions, and thoughts. Today, it is so easy to get caught up in the constant need to opine, react, and respond immediately. We feel pressured to always be present, always commenting, always saying something, whether in person or on social media. But how many times do those quick reactions lead us to say things we later regret? Or worse, how many times do we get caught up in meaningless conversations that do not add anything positive to our lives? This is where the value of silence comes in. When you practice silence, you not only give yourself a break from external demands, but you also give yourself the opportunity to think before you speak, to choose your words carefully, and to act from a place of calm and wisdom. And this, honestly, is a huge advantage. People who can remain silent when others feel the need to speak or react impulsively demonstrate an internal strength that few possess. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught us that we should listen more than we speak because true personal growth and understanding of the world are not achieved by talking nonstop, but by observing, reflecting, and listening. And not just listening to others, but also listening to yourself. Silence allows you to stop, pause, and connect with your true thoughts and emotions, instead of letting yourself be carried away by the chaos of everyday life. Moreover, silence is a powerful tool in your interactions with others. Many times, the power is not in what you say, but in what you choose not to say. Marcus Aurelius, the great emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations that if it is possible, do nothing unnecessary. And this also applies to our words. Sometimes, silence can communicate more than any word. It can convey self-control, respect, and wisdom. Imagine for a moment being in a tense situation, a heated argument, or a misunderstanding with someone. Your natural first reaction may be to defend yourself, explain your point of view, or even retaliate. But what if you choose silence? Not a passive silence, but a conscious and deliberate one. That type of silence can disarm tension and completely change the dynamic of the situation. It shows that you are not at the mercy of your emotions or the circumstances. You are choosing your response rather than reacting impulsively. By learning to value silence, you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions. Silence allows you to process before acting, which helps you make better decisions in life. This reflective approach not only makes you wiser, but also more effective in your relationships and actions. But it is not just about external silence, it is also about cultivating moments of internal silence. We live in an era of information overload. We are constantly bombarded by external stimuli, from notifications on our phones to television and city noise. This affects our minds, making us feel overwhelmed and scattered. That is why seeking moments of internal stillness is crucial for your well-being. Internal silence can be practiced in many ways, through meditation, reflection, or simply disconnecting for a few minutes each day. It is in those moments where you can clear your mind, analyze your thoughts and feelings, and refocus your priorities. By doing this, you become more aware of what is truly important in your life and what you can let go of. The value of silence is that it allows you to stop, observe, and take control of your internal world. You do not need to have all the answers or react to everything that happens around you. True power lies in your ability to choose when to speak and when to be silent, when to act and when to wait. Key 4. Resilience. The fourth Stoic key that will help you surpass others is resilience. In a world filled with challenges, constant changes, and unexpected situations, resilience becomes a crucial skill for anyone wishing not just to survive, but also to thrive. Resilience is the ability to rise after a fall, to adapt and grow in the face of adversity. For women, this quality is particularly relevant, as we often encounter situations that test our strength and determination. Resilience doesn't mean that you don't feel pain, sadness, or frustration. In fact, it is completely normal to experience these emotions. What being resilient really means is how you choose to respond to those feelings and circumstances. Instead of allowing adversity to defeat you, you choose to learn from it and grow from the experience. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, difficulties are not an obstacle to virtue, but rather give it an opportunity to act. When we talk about resilience, it's important to recognize that it is not something innate, it is a skill that can be developed over time. This is where Stoicism offers valuable teachings. Stoics believed in the idea that everything that happens to us, whether good or bad, is an opportunity for learning and growth. Adversity is not just an obstacle, but a teacher that provides us with lessons that will help strengthen us. To cultivate resilience in your life, start by changing your perspective on failures and disappointments. Many times, we tend to view these experiences as discouraging endings. However, if you adopt a Stoic approach, you can begin to see each stumble as an opportunity to reflect and learn. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can I use this experience to grow? This mindset will help you find courage even in the most difficult situations. Additionally, it is essential to develop a support network. Women often have the natural ability to build deep connections with others. Use this to your advantage. Talk to friends, family, or mentors about your struggles and listen to their stories. Sharing your experiences and learning from others will help you realize that you are not alone in your challenges. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic, said, "The life of each one is a mirror of the lives of all." By understanding that adversity is a common part of the human experience, you will feel more supported and capable of facing your own challenges. An effective technique for strengthening your resilience is the practice of negative visualization. This technique involves imagining the worst possible scenarios, not to feel fear or anxiety, but to mentally prepare for what might happen. This allows you to accept that adversity can arise at any moment while simultaneously appreciating what you have in the present. When you truly face a difficult situation, you will feel more prepared to handle it because you have contemplated the possibility of its existence. Resilience is also linked to the idea of mental flexibility. This involves being able to adapt to changing circumstances without losing your sense of direction. Women often have to navigate multiple roles and expectations in their lives, from work to family. Being flexible and able to adjust your approach when things don't go as planned is an integral part of resilience. Remember, it's not about the situation itself, but how you choose to respond to it. Finally, an important key to cultivating resilience is taking care of yourself. Maintaining healthy habits, practicing mindfulness, and setting aside time for activities that bring you joy are essential for your emotional well-being. By taking care of your body and mind, you better equip yourself to face the challenges that life presents. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are ready to start shaping your new inner self. Key 5. Emotional discipline. The fifth key to surpassing others is emotional discipline. In daily life, our emotions can be our allies or our enemies. Emotional discipline involves the ability to manage and regulate your emotions effectively, rather than letting them control you. For many women, this skill can be especially relevant, as we often face situations that generate stress, anxiety, and sometimes even frustration. But like any other skill, emotional discipline can be cultivated and strengthened. Stoicism teaches us that emotions are natural reactions to situations, but they do not always reflect reality. As Epictetus said, "It's not the things that disturb us, but our opinions about the things." This means that instead of allowing our emotions to overwhelm us, we have the option to step back and analyze the situation from a more objective perspective. Emotional discipline is, in essence, the practice of observing your emotions without judgment, and then consciously deciding how to respond to them. To begin cultivating emotional discipline, the first step is to become aware of your emotions. Often, we get carried away by our emotional reactions without even realizing what we are feeling. Take a moment each day to reflect on your emotions. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why do I feel this way? This practice of self-awareness will allow you to identify patterns in your emotions and understand how they affect your decisions and behaviors. Another powerful technique for developing emotional discipline is the practice of mindfulness. This technique helps you stay present in the moment and observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. You can start with simple breathing exercises, dedicating a few minutes each day to focus on your breath and notice any thoughts or emotions that arise. Mindfulness helps you distance yourself from your automatic reactions, allowing you to respond in a more conscious and balanced manner. Additionally, it is fundamental to learn to manage your emotional reactions. When faced with a stressful situation, instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to breathe deeply and assess the situation. Ask yourself, how do I want to respond to this? What is the best way to handle this emotion? This pause will allow you to act in a way that aligns with your values and goals, rather than simply reacting based on how you feel at the moment. Emotional discipline also involves setting healthy boundaries. This means learning to say no and prioritizing your emotional well-being. Often, women feel pressured to please others, which can lead to emotional overload. By establishing clear boundaries, you protect your emotional energy and allow yourself to focus on what truly matters. Remember, it's okay to prioritize your needs and well-being. It's not selfish, it's essential. An important aspect of emotional discipline is practicing self-compassion. Instead of harshly criticizing yourself for your emotions, learn to be kind to yourself. Recognize that everyone experiences moments of weakness and that it's okay to feel vulnerable. Self-compassion helps you handle difficult emotions in a healthier and more constructive way. Key 6. Daily gratitude. The sixth key to overcoming others is daily gratitude. In a world that often feels overwhelming and full of challenges, practicing gratitude can be a powerful tool to transform your perspective and improve your emotional well-being. Gratitude not only involves recognizing the good in our lives, but also developing a mindset that allows us to see the positive even amidst adversity. This approach is fundamental in Stoic philosophy, which encourages us to find meaning in all experiences, both good and bad. Daily gratitude has the potential to change the way we view the world. When we focus our attention on what we have rather than what we lack, we can create a more positive and healthy mental space. As Seneca said, happiness is not having what you want, but wanting what you have. This simple shift in mindset can work wonders for our mental and emotional health. To start incorporating daily gratitude into your life, you can establish a morning or evening ritual. Dedicate a few minutes each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for. You can do this by writing in a gratitude journal, where you note at least 3 things that made you feel grateful that day. It doesn't matter how small or large they are, what matters is recognizing them. This exercise helps set a positive tone for the day and closes each night on a reflective note. Additionally, gratitude can be expressed in many ways. Practicing active gratitude, which involves not only recognizing what you value but also expressing it to others, can deepen your interpersonal connections. Take a moment to thank someone who has had a positive impact on your life, whether it's a friend, family member, or colleague. This action not only strengthens your relationships but also reminds you of the support and kindness that surround you. Gratitude can also be integrated into your daily life through small moments of reflection. Whenever you feel stressed or overwhelmed, take a moment to pause and breathe deeply. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for at this moment? It could be as simple as the warmth of the sun on your skin, a hot cup of tea, or the sound of a child laughing. These small moments of gratitude can act as an anchor, helping you return to the present and find calm amidst chaos. Another valuable practice is finding gratitude in difficulties. It's easy to feel grateful when everything is going well, but learning to find gratitude in tough moments is a powerful skill. Ask yourself, what lessons can I learn from this experience? How can this strengthen me? This approach not only transforms your perspective but also helps you develop resilience, a key quality in Stoicism. Gratitude is also deeply connected to the concept of abundance. Often, we find ourselves trapped in a scarcity mindset where we focus on what we lack. The practice of gratitude invites us to shift that focus. By recognizing what we already have, we cultivate a sense of abundance in our lives. This mindset can open the door to more opportunities, relationships, and positive experiences, allowing us to thrive rather than just survive. Key 7. Confronting the fear of failure. The 7th key to overcoming others is confronting the fear of failure. This fear is one of the most common barriers that many women face when seeking to achieve their goals and live a fulfilling life. However, understanding and confronting this fear can be the first step toward personal transformation and growth. Stoic philosophy teaches us that failure is an inevitable part of life and that instead of fearing it, we should learn to accept it and use it as a catalyst for our development. First, it is essential to redefine what failure means. Many times, we perceive it as a defeat or a sign of weakness. However, Stoics like Epictetus teach us that it is not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. So, instead of seeing failure as an end, consider viewing it as a learning opportunity. Every mistake we make is a lesson in itself that helps us grow, refine our skills, and gain experience. To confront the fear of failure, an effective strategy is to break down your fears. Take a moment to write down exactly what you fear and what might happen if you confront those fears. By doing this, you may realize that your fears are more unfounded than you thought. Ask yourself, what is the worst possible outcome? Is it really that terrible? Often, we find ourselves trapped in a cycle of negative thoughts, but by breaking down these fears, we can begin to see things more clearly and objectively. Once you understand your fears, the next step is to take action. Many times, simply facing what we fear can diminish its power over us. Make a list of small actions you can take that lead you toward your goal, despite the fear. It can be as simple as making a call, pitching an idea, or making a decision you've been postponing. Every small step you take will help you gain confidence and dismantle the fear you feel. It's also crucial to surround yourself with a support system. Talk to friends, family, or mentors about your fears and challenges. They will not only provide encouragement but are likely to share their own experiences with failure. Hearing how others have faced and overcome their fears can be a source of inspiration and motivation. Additionally, sharing your vulnerabilities with trusted people can lighten the emotional burden you feel. Another key is to redefine success and failure. Instead of measuring your success solely by outcomes, consider the value of the process. Ask yourself, what have I learned from this experience? How have I grown as a person? By doing so, you'll realize that every attempt, regardless of the outcome, has intrinsic value. This growth mindset is fundamental to developing a resilience that will allow you to face the future with more confidence. Furthermore, it is vital to remember that failure does not define your worth. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that a mistake or setback means we are not enough or not up to par. However, your worth as a person is not tied to your achievements. You are valuable for who you are, not just for what you do. This understanding can free you from the pressure of perfection and allow you to take risks without fear. Key 8. Avoid comparing yourself to others. The 8th key to overcoming others is to avoid comparing yourself to them. In the age of social media and constant exposure to other people's lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. However, this habit can be destructive and debilitating, robbing us of our joy and self-confidence. Stoic philosophy offers us tools to cultivate a healthier, more self-centered mindset. First, it's important to recognize that everyone has their own path and their own timeline. When we compare ourselves to others, we tend to see only what is visible, their achievements, appearance, and relationships. But we rarely see the struggles, sacrifices, and failures they have faced. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "Life is like a theatrical performance. It is not the length but the excellence of the play that matters." Instead of comparing yourself to the performance of others, focus on your own play, on what you are doing, and on how you can improve each day. One of the best ways to avoid comparison is to redefine your metrics for success. Ask yourself, what does success mean to me? Instead of measuring your worth by someone else's career, set your own goals and standards. You may want to be an excellent mother, excel in your career, or achieve a level of personal well-being. Defining success on your own terms allows you to focus on your own journey without external distractions. Another key strategy is to practice gratitude. When you feel the temptation to compare yourself to others, take a moment to reflect on what you have in your life. Make a list of the things you are grateful for, your achievements, your relationships, your experiences. Gratitude shifts our perspective and helps us appreciate who we are and what we have accomplished, rather than what we lack. This practice also reinforces the idea that everyone has their own story and that our experiences are valuable. Additionally, it is crucial to limit the time you spend on social media. While these platforms can be a way to connect with others, they can also become fertile ground for negative comparisons. By reducing the time you spend on these networks, you can minimize exposure to images and stories that might trigger your insecurities. Consider following accounts that promote well-being and authenticity instead of those that focus solely on superficial achievements. When you feel comparison beginning to creep in, an effective technique is to shift your focus towards personal development. Instead of thinking about what others have achieved, concentrate on your own goals. What can you learn from what others have done? How can you apply those lessons to your own journey? Viewing others as sources of inspiration rather than competition can radically change the way you experience success. It's also important to surround yourself with supportive people who share your values. Being in a positive and encouraging environment will allow you to focus on your own achievements without the pressure of comparing yourself to others. Seek communities where individual growth and mutual support are celebrated. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of healthy relationships, as they can uplift us and help us maintain our perspective. Key 9. Maintain humility. The ninth key to overcoming others is to maintain humility. In a world where success and recognition are often celebrated, it's easy to get carried away by ego and lose sight of what really matters. Humility is not only a valuable virtue but also essential for personal growth and authentic connection with others. Humility is the ability to recognize our limitations and mistakes. It's not about belittling ourselves or having a negative view of ourselves, but about having a balanced perspective of who we are. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Roman emperors and Stoic philosophers, said, "The true measure of a man is not what he has, but what he is." This thought invites us to reflect on our essence rather than our external achievements. One of the most effective ways to cultivate humility is to practice constructive self-criticism. This means making a conscious effort to evaluate our actions and decisions without harsh judgments but with the aim of learning and improving. Reflect on your successes and failures, asking yourself what lessons you can draw from them. This practice not only fosters personal growth but also reminds you that no one is perfect and that we are all on a learning path. Humility also involves acknowledging the contributions of others in our journey. No one achieves success alone. Thank the people who have supported you, whether through their advice, time, or friendship. Recognizing the importance of community and human relationships not only strengthens your connections but also keeps you grounded in the reality that we all share experiences and challenges. An important aspect of humility is being willing to learn from others, regardless of their position or experience. Keeping an open and receptive mind will allow you to absorb knowledge and perspectives that you may not have considered before. This is especially valuable in a work environment or community, where each person brings their own insights and skills. As Epictetus wisely said, it doesn't matter what others say, what matters is how you respond. Moreover, practicing humility can help us handle success gracefully. When you achieve significant milestones, it's easy to fall into the trap of arrogance. However, by maintaining humility, you can enjoy your successes without allowing them to become a source of excessive pride. This will also protect you from the downfall that often accompanies an inflated ego, allowing you to stay balanced and centered. Humility is also crucial for accepting criticism and feedback. Instead of viewing criticism as personal attacks, consider it an opportunity to grow and improve. Thank those who provide you with feedback, whether positive or negative, as it can be a powerful reminder that there is always room for growth. Remember that even the toughest criticism can teach us something valuable about ourselves. Practicing humility allows you to connect more deeply with others. People are often drawn to those who show authenticity and sincerity. When you present yourself with humility, others feel comfortable sharing their own stories and vulnerabilities. This not only strengthens relationships but also creates an environment of support and mutual understanding. Maintaining humility is an ongoing exercise. It's not something that you achieve once and forget. It requires self-awareness, reflection, and a constant commitment to personal growth. Take time each day to remember what truly matters: relationships, learning, and personal development. By doing so, you will stay centered and balanced, allowing you to overcome others in a way that is authentic and meaningful. Key 10: be proactive, not reactive. The 10th key to overcoming others is to be proactive, not reactive. In a world that often seems out of our control, it's easy to fall into the trap of reacting to circumstances and allowing our emotions and external situations to dictate our lives. However, proactivity is a powerful tool that can transform your approach and help you achieve your goals with clarity and determination. Being proactive means taking the initiative and acting instead of merely responding to what happens around you. It involves anticipating problems and seeking solutions before they become crises. When you adopt a proactive mindset, you take responsibility for your life and your decisions, empowering you to create the future you desire. One of the key concepts in Stoicism is the idea that we cannot control what happens around us, but we can always control our response. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote highlights the importance of having a proactive approach to life. By learning to manage your thoughts and emotions, you become the architect of your own existence. Being proactive also means setting clear goals and working consistently towards them. This involves not only defining what you want to achieve but also planning and executing the necessary actions to reach those objectives. Take the time to reflect on your short and long-term goals and create an action plan that allows you to make progress. Clarity in your objectives will help you stay focused and motivated even when obstacles arise along the way. A fundamental aspect of proactivity is time management. Instead of allowing tasks and responsibilities to overwhelm you, organize your day effectively. Use tools like task lists, calendars, and reminders to prioritize your activities. By doing so, you can dedicate time to the things that truly matter and that bring you closer to your goals. Time management is an essential skill that not only improves your productivity but also reduces stress and the feeling of being out of control. Additionally, by being proactive, you remain open to seizing opportunities that may arise along your path. Instead of waiting for things to happen, actively seek ways to grow and learn. This may include pursuing new experiences, expanding your network, or learning new skills. Life is full of opportunities waiting to be discovered, and being proactive will allow you to recognize and take advantage of them. Another benefit of adopting a proactive mindset is the improvement in decision-making. When you act from a place of proactivity, you can assess situations clearly and make informed decisions based on your values and goals. This contrasts with impulsive reactions, which can often lead to hasty decisions that do not align with your long-term interests. Reflect on how you can apply this proactive mindset to everyday decisions, from the smallest to the most significant. It is also essential to recognize that being proactive does not mean being inflexible. Life is full of unexpected changes and challenges. By adopting a proactive approach, you can prepare to adapt to these circumstances without losing sight of your goals. Flexibility is an important part of proactivity. It allows you to adjust your plans and strategies as needed while keeping your eyes on the final objective. Finally, being proactive contributes to a growth mindset. By taking responsibility for your life and actions, you give yourself permission to learn and evolve. This helps you view failures as growth opportunities rather than insurmountable obstacles. This mindset empowers you to keep moving forward even when facing challenges and encourages you to continue seeking learning and continuous improvement. We have traveled an exciting journey through the 12 Stoic keys that will help you overcome others and reach a new level of personal well-being and success. Throughout this video, we have explored fundamental concepts that, although they may seem simple, have the power to radically transform your life if applied with dedication and consistency. These 12 Stoic keys are powerful tools that you can integrate into your daily life to overcome others and achieve your goals. I invite you to reflect on each of them and consider how you can implement them in your life. It's not about changing overnight, but taking small, consistent steps toward meaningful growth. Remember that each day is a new opportunity to put into practice what you have learned. While the path may not be easy, every effort you make to grow and improve will bring you closer to the life you desire. So, are you ready to put these keys into practice and become the best version of yourself? I am here with you on this journey, so feel free to subscribe, leave your comments, and share your experiences. Together, we can continue to grow and learn on this beautiful journey of life. Leave us a comment sharing your thoughts, as this helps motivate more people to become the best version of themselves. Give me a like, and don't forget that subscribing is free. See you in the next chapter.